You ain't gonna say I'm trying to keep you away from your children. If I'm trying to keep you away from your child, it's because you pose a threat to them. Did you hear me? If I keep you away from your child, that's because I'm protecting your children from you. Very demure. Okay. Very Akira. Okay. Okay. Yeah. He was not present for the minor child preparing and attending the sneaker ball. So this got to be the baby, the oldest one, the son. And you know what? Those are moments that you'll never get back. Those are precious moments you will never get back. My childhood memory stems back from my preschool days. You know? Tim has refused to provide any financial support for the children, including refusing to purchase pull-ups, clothing, and etc. Akira, in fact, has... Y'all ready for this one? Y'all ready? Y'all ready for this? Because ain't no way jelly back. Ain't no way. Listen to this, y'all, because this is part that I've been wanting y'all to get to. Listen. It says, plaintiff, talking about Akira, in fact, has several text messages that Tim states that he is physically, emotionally, and spiritually under attack. Hold on, y'all. Y'all, please don't. Y'all, please. We listen and we do not judge. We listen and we do. Repeat after me in the chat. Repeat in the chat. Repeat after me. We listen and we do not judge. Plaintiff Akira, in fact, has several text messages that Tim has stated he suffers from emotional distress, severe anxiety, and severe depression. We listen and we do not judge. Tim has stated he was unfaithful. Somebody tell Brenay. Somebody go tell Brenay. Somebody go tell Brenay that Tim has stated that he was unfaithful due to his own mental health issues. So he went to Brenay because he mentally ill. Like I'm trying to help it make sense, y'all. Oh my goodness. This is a blatant intimidation tactic to harass, bully, and intimidate Akira because she filed lawsuit against both Thank You defendant and his girlfriend, and the minor children are safe, secure, and stable in her custody. Listen, y'all. Tim is constantly calling CPS on Akira since the date of separation. Didn't I tell y'all? Look at here. You mean to tell me you've been married? Because I'm not finna even count this year. Because this year made, yes, I be kissing the bear. This year has made 6 years that they were married. They have lived together for 5 years as husband and wife. And I don't care if it was off and on and off. They have lived together for 5 years as husband and wife. And you mean to tell me that in those 5 years, you felt like your children were unsafe, yet you did not call the police. But the minute that you separate, you mean to tell me now you separated, you so concerned about the well-being of your children. All of a sudden, now that y'all separated, she unfit. She mental. She got health issues. She all of this and the third. Like, come on, Bookie. You mean to tell me in them 5 years you ain't never called CPS? So you mean to tell me in the 5 years that you all were together, you never turned your back on your wife. But now that y'all separated, she unfit. Oh, okay. You mean to tell me you didn't have this concern? Because even as they father, if you felt like she was just this bad, you didn't take your children. But you slanging your thing every which way but right. It's dipping and diving in all the puddings but the right pudding. You out here sharing it. It become the community thing. But you mean to tell me you ain't concerned? You weren't concerned about them children when y'all was in the house together? Yeah, the thing ain't. Baby, Tim, something ain't adding up. It just, it just ain't adding. It ain't giving Tim a thing. You sitting up there making false claims against the mother of your child. You, as if this affair wasn't enough. Yeah, the community peanuts. Yeah. Overused sausage. Yeah, that part. So you mean to tell me you is constantly calling CPS on Akira since March? Y'all, you mean to tell me January, February, March, April, May, June. I mean, from March, May, and June, you calling, you been falsely claiming. Oh Lord have mercy. It says Tim is constantly calling CPS on Akira since the date of separation. CPS has not filed a single report against Akira. In fact, 2 welfare checks have been conducted at the home, and the children were found to be safe. Like, why is you traumatizing these kids? Because listen, when CPS come out, y'all, you know they had to interview them kids and ask them kids, are they okay? 2 welfare checks, y'all. 2 welfare checks. 2. Not while they was together, but now that they separated. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Akira is preparing to file a counter suit against both Tim and Brenay because of the threats, bullying, constant intimidation tactics, derogatory comments online, and frivolous lawsuit. Akira was in court today and did not have any knowledge of any criminal case pending against her. Akira is prepared to fight every single lawsuit and allegation against her. Akira is under the belief that this is a bullying tactic to intimidate her to drop all lawsuits against both Tim and Brenay. Ain't gonna happen. Akira is under the belief that Tim is only trying to get revenge for filing a civil lawsuit against Brenay, his girlfriend. Akira takes both minor children to school every day, and vouchers pays for a portion of their daycare, and Akira pays the remainder. Tim asked Akira to delete her social media, wait a minute, her social media that has family-friendly posts and continues to post the minor children on social media. Tim has asked Akira to delete her social media because it was interfering with his alleged football career. You mean you talking about the football career that she put her life on hold to help you? Um, however, Tim posts the minor children consciously on social media, despite knowing that Akira was receiving threats regarding the minor children and herself. Tim has only provided financial. Y'all finna really flip out about this. Tim has only provided financial assistance of $60 for the minor children since the date of separation of March 2024.
Hey cousins, welcome back to my channel. Make sure you like and comment. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Make sure your post notifications are on so you're notified every single time I post. As you can see from the clip, we are going to get into all the updates for Brenay, Akira, Tim, and Devon because baby, Devon and Akira, they're playing chess, not checkers. Okay? So first things first, let me catch you guys up on the fact that Akira had to go and file an emergency temporary custody order because Bernard kept posting her children online, and that is a part of the original court that she is not allowed to do that. She's not even allowed to be with the children by herself. And there were so many videos of her, one, taking them to Goodwill. And I see a lot of people in the comments like, oh, I love shopping at Goodwill. Baby, Goodwill is not for children's toys. If you get children's toys from Goodwill, I don't understand that. You literally can go to Five Below. You can go to Dollar Tree if you want to get some new cheap toys. But Goodwill, you get clothes from Goodwill, you get anything else but children's toys. And I feel like Bernard was trying to be funny just to let Akira know, like, haha, you're not stopping nothing over here. I'm gonna still post your kids. And that's just wrong. It's like they're trying to antagonize her. And my thing with Bernard is when Akira really dealt, like, she started using her emotions instead of her head, Bernard, you called the cops and you put a case on her. So you want her to do that again? It's like you're trying to antagonize her so that she could lose her case. Baby, for the 2 mil, she's not going to do that. So she's moving smart. She's moving in court. So after Akira did that, here comes Tim with his basically trying to say that Akira is mentally ill. When you are the one, Mr. Timothy, that is mentally ill, you left your family of 2 children for a hippopotamus that literally has been obsessed with you from high school. She's literally been obsessed with Tim from high school. When you guys get into this case, and we're going to keep going with all the details that came out, Devon also filed for alimony. I'm not going to do too much talking. I really don't have much to say about Bernard. She is going to get every single thing that she deserves. And it's really nothing. You're going to be paying these people for the rest of your life, Bernard. And I love that for Akira. I love that for Devon. They deserve it. And I'm not saying they are perfect. Nobody is perfect. But one thing about Devon, especially because Akira hasn't really said anything in the public besides wanting her children not to be on social media. She does not want that because people are threatening. I don't understand why people are threatening her minor children. That is extremely weird. They did nothing. But Devon came out with his side. We went over that before, but I'm going to drop that video in here again before we get to his alimony because I want everybody to be caught up. This is diabolical. This whole situation is sick, and I feel like Brenay plotted this entire thing. She wanted Akira's life, and I'm not talking about women who cannot have kids. This is about Brenay, and I feel like God is not blessing Brenay's womb for a reason. Okay, you've been wanting kids so bad. The relationship you have with your twin sister is extremely weird, and baby, now we know why. Let's get into it. Unpack your thoughts in the comments. How do you feel about this? Do you think all states should make sure they have alienation of affection where you can sue the side chick or the mistress, mister, or whoever the side person is in your marriage? I feel like every state should have this because pay with your pockets. Done paying with tears. Unpack your thoughts in the comments. Let me know how you feel about this situation. Bye. One thing I must add is the fact that, yes, Brenay is getting a lot of heat, but Tim, as the father, you are a horrible father. I don't want to hear nobody in his family come on here and say he's such a great dad. A great dad is going to pay more than $60 within 6 months. You only pay $60. You got 2 kids. And it's been more than almost 6 months that you've been separated. And you only gave their mother $60. You're a deadbeat. I don't care how much you come and get your kids. You're a deadbeat. You're still putting the children on social media. You're letting your mistress put them on social media where they've been getting death threats. You're a deadbeat. Like, let's cut the BS and let's stop saying he's such a great dad. He is not. Bare minimum. And it seems like because you're not with the mother anymore, now you don't want to do for your children, which is corny. And Bernard, you really think that this man is going to do better for you than he did for his wife? He's going to treat you the same way. And I hope we can see it. Unfortunately, TikTok may be banned on January 19th. But, baby, we're going to still keep up with this one way or another. I don't know how, but we're going to keep up. And I don't want to hear, oh, you guys are too invested. This should be everywhere. Everybody should be invested. Because if this has happened to you, you would want to know how to move in the courts. Everybody always move on emotion. Everybody always want to fight. Oh, behind my kids, I will be this. I will do this. Okay, and then you'll be in jail. And who gonna raise your kids? The mistress and the husband. Why would you want that? Very not demure. Very not Akira. Akira is moving smart. Because when she moves with emotions, as I said before, Bernard went and pressed charges on her. So no. Now I'm taking everything to court, as she should. And she deserves every penny. Devon deserves every penny. And Tim is also being sued for alienation of affection. I wish I could put an applause in this part. But unpack your thoughts in the comments. Let me know how you feel about this. I'm going now. Bye.
Akira offered to set up video, phone, and visitation for Tim to see the minor children. Tim has not exercised the video or phone call except on one occasion to see the minor children. So y'all, this was during the summertime. Prayer for relief. Wherefore, Akira prays unto the court as follows: that this emergency custody order be denied, that the court have such temporary hearings and enter temporary orders as just and proper pending permanent resolution of the issues, that temporary custody be placed with Akira until a hearing has been held on the matter for such or the other and further relief as this court may deem just and proper. So this is objection to emergency custody order. An emergency custody order ex parte was filed on the 7th day of June 2024. The unsigned discovered said motion via Odyssey on the 7th day of June 2024 and hereby objects based on the following. Objection to defendant seeking an award of temporary emergency custody custody of minor children. Plaintiff does not have any health issues. Let me simplify. Akira has never put the minor children in harm's way or has been violent in front of the minor children. The minor children were taken from Akira in a violent way after a minor car accident that included Akira and the minor children. Tim is upset because Akira filed an alienation of affection lawsuit against his mistress, Brenay. Akira filed a motion for custody, child support, post-separation support, attorney fees, and alimony against the defendant on May 28, 2024. Akira also filed a $1 million lawsuit against the defendant's girlfriend, Brenay, for alienation of affection on May 28, 2024 at approximately 7:11 a.m. Since the filing of the lawsuits, Akira has served Tim's girlfriend, Brenay, with the lawsuit. Also, Tim appeared on a live session via social media with his girlfriend, Brenay, making derogatory and false statements about plaintiff Akira after the knowledge of the civil lawsuit became public. Akira does not have any suicide thoughts or tendency because he said that her mental health is not an issue for her. She has not been medically diagnosed with any disorders. Akira has always been and currently is the primary caretaker of the minor children. Tim has not been the caretaker of the minor children even when the parties were living together. He should have stayed his tail at home because all his business out here in the street. Tim has never taken the minor children to any doctor's appointment since the minor children have been born. Akira takes the minor children to all their doctor's appointments and tells Tim when and where the doctor's appointments takes place. Tim has only taken the minor children to one dentist appointment since they were born. The parties, listen to this, for the people in the back and around the corner who thinks that Tim and Akira are divorced and Brenay and Devon are divorced or were divorced during the time that him and Brenay was living together and all the times that y'all seen them together, Bookie, they still married to this day. The parties separated in March of 2024. Akira has sent several cease and desist letters to stop the minor children from being exploited by Tim and his girlfriend on Sodomisha. Tim and Akira are still married. Brenay and Devon are still married. But Bookie, I seen a Facebook post and Brenay act like she was alluding to the fact that her and Tim are married. Listen, it says that they will cease and desist letters to stop the minor children from being exploited by Tim and his girlfriend on Sodomisha. Okay? The plaintiffs have received death threats from the defendant's girlfriend. Because of the threats, plaintiff's attorneys have sent several cease and desist letters. They talking about Miss Robin. The one with the stilettos. They got their heel in their neck. And they aura. Listen. However, Tim ignores all cease and desist letters. Tim's girlfriend, Brenay, ignores all cease and desist letters. The minor children have received threats due to their being exploited by Tim and his girlfriend on Sodomisha. Okay? Akira has not posted anything on Sodomisha directed to Tim. Tim and his girlfriend has posted negative and derogatory comments on a live session on Sodomisha. In regards to the Duke Hospital accusation on Thursday, the 23rd of May, that's what they're talking about. Akira and the children were involved in a minor car accident. Akira did not intentionally get into a car accident and she did not try to harm her children. In fact, they were hit by another car. Furthermore, car accidents are common, and Akira did not intentionally try to harm the minor children and never would. Since the plaintiff and defendant's separation due to infidelity on Tim's part with his girlfriend, Brenay, both of the minor children resides with Akira, and it tells where and what school they attend. The children are in excellent health and enrolled in school in which they attend daily. Okay, the minor child's graduation is scheduled for today. Thus, the defendant is trying to take the children away from her on the children's graduation. Not on the kids' graduation. I do work in the court system. I do. The minor children have no behavior issues in school and are expected to be awarded certificates at today's graduation. Plaintiff lives with her mom, and they have a secure, safe, and loving environment for her and the children. The children are thriving under the mother and family's care. In fact, teachers tell Akira that the minor child is academically gifted. That's one of the kids, the son. Both minor children like to play outside with their mother and jump at the urban air trampoline park. Akira's attorney, upon realizing that the minor children were taken away from her after an accident, called Tim and politely asked him to return the minor children. Tim did not return the minor children until he saw fit. Tim, knowing that the plaintiff had just been in a car accident, brought his girlfriend, Brenay, to the hospital to upset plaintiff. Plaintiff has asked Tim in text messages several times to not have his girlfriend, Brenay, around the children and to especially keep them off the internet. Tim has refused. Tim's girlfriend, Brenay, attempted to enter Akira's hospital room. Akira asked Tim, "Why did you bring her to the hospital? And I've asked you multiple times to keep her away from my children and I." And Tim, in fact, replied, "You don't tell me what to do. I'm their dad." I bet you sound like you don't tell me what to do. I'm their dad. It sounded like Nora. Oh my goodness. Whoo, honey. You got to see okay, we just got to make it funny, y'all. We got to make it funny, baby, because this is sad. He got real sassy. Akira asked him several times to keep his girlfriend, Brenay, away from the children, and instead, Tim brought her to the hospital knowing that it would offend and upset Akira. The minor children were only distraught because they had just been in a car accident and were being taken away from the hospital, from their mom at the hospital. I know, laugh to keep from crying. The minor children were not distraught because of any of the plaintiff's actions. Tim being asked numerous times for the protection of their children to keep the girlfriend, Brenay, away from the children, and the children just being involved in a car accident. Tim and his girlfriend still grabbed and left with the minor children. And both parties rolled their eyes at Akira while she was outside in the hospital waiting room after the children were seen by medical professionals. In fact, Tim's girlfriend, Brenay, walked away holding Akira's son, looking back at and smirking at Akira in an antagonizing manner. I believe it. I believe it because she do it now. Tim has not assaulted Brenay. In fact, Tim's girlfriend, Brenay, was a former friend of Akira. Akira was aware of Tim's girlfriend, Brenay's address because they are former friends. Akira did not pull up aggressively to plaintiff's girlfriend's home. Plaintiff wanted to know if Tim was cheating on her for the second time. And in fact, he was now cheating on Akira with her friend, Brenay. Tim, in fact, is sleeping, dating her former friend, Brenay Kennard, and Akira did not assault, threaten, or harm anyone once Akira found out the answer to her questions. Akira has not leaked the address of the defendant or the defendant's girlfriend, Brenay. The lawsuit is public. According to these court documents, listen, Put my glasses on. Okay. According to this right here, the court documents, the lawsuit is public record. Y'all hear that? The lawsuit is public records. Y'all didn't hear me. Y'all didn't hear me. Yeah. The lawsuit is public record, and due to Tim's girlfriend's social media status, her followers obtained the information and posted the lawsuit online. Both lawsuits included the addresses for all parties, and did, because it's public records. Okay. Filing emergency custody, a 50B and a 50C, is a tactic employed by both Tim and Brenay to intimidate and bully Akira because of the alienation of affection lawsuit against Brenay and the custody, post-separation, alimony, child support, and attorney fees filed by plaintiff. The lawsuit has been publicized over the internet, and Tim and his girlfriend Brenay are embarrassed about their alleged infidelity since Tim was married to Akira and is cousins with defendant's girlfriend, Brenay Kennard's husband. Talking about Devon. Akira has always communicated with Tim about any of the minor children's activities or event he should attend. So if he can't attend anything now, if he can't be a part of that Christmas dinner, if he can't be a part of all of that, it's because Akira don't have his phone number to text him or call him. That part. I said, and is cousins. I ain't say nothing about it. Did I say first cousin in here? God just didn't say first cousin now. Akira has always, okay, I read that. In preparation for graduation, Akira has brought cap and gowns for the minor child. The minor children had a sneaker ball last night. Akira asked Tim for assistance in purchasing their outfits, and defendants refused. Tim refused. Akira paid for the outfits, dressed, and took several pictures of the minor children and sent them to Tim since he did not appear for the event. But y'all want to name him Daddy of the Year. Oh, okay. Not only did he not help the girl, so I like I said, I wanted to ask the sister, did you know? Did you know? Yes, jellyback, baby. Jellyback ain't got a spine to the first. The health issue, she was diagnosed with all this different stuff. Based on how I read this right here, because it's in response to the emergency custody order, you'll basically know what he was talking about. He was talking about how she tried to fight somebody and threaten and assaulted somebody. That's where the threatened communication charge come from. Was talking about how she was threatening somebody in front of the minor children. He never even said Brenay name or girlfriend. He never identified Brenay. He just said somebody. That's the one that Brenay's mama notarized that form. He talked about how Akira had poured hot wax on him. Now, if y'all sensitive in this comment section, please exit the live. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. But yeah, he had said that she had poured hot wax on him. I mean, he just really did a lot to degrade her. You know what I'm saying? As the mother of his children. I mean, yeah, with her being the mother of his children, like, I just really didn't like. We can't do nothing, Lori. Baby. Nothing. No, she had poured hot wax on him. That's what he had claimed. Like, he was just doing the most. And I felt like the only reason why he had put in that little information was to amp up his chance of getting custody of those kids.
I've been struggling to even want to speak out about the situation. But for the people who do know of me and Brenay's divorce, it is not because of, we ain't even divorced yet, actually. We're still in the separation phase, but yes, she is wanting to be in a relationship with my cousin again. And people would normally have questions or opinions about why would I marry somebody that she dated. But a lot of people don't know that was back in 2013, 2014. We was all teenagers, so that relationship really didn't mean nothing to me now because we're grown. And around this time, he's married with kids. But the damage that has been done to me throughout this whole little process is taking a toll on me. It's been driving me kind of crazy a little bit because I've been wanting to speak out about it just because the simple fact of all of this stuff that y'all see on the internet be so fake, bro. Y'all may say I never looked happy with her in the videos and whatnot, but y'all don't know nothing that went on behind closed doors or behind the camera. People don't know what I had to go through. People don't know what I had to deal with, but I'm not going to make it seem like I didn't have my faults either. Yes, I had some ways about myself too, but I never once thought about stepping out of my marriage to go be with somebody else. To sit here and say that I'm happy to see my wife with another man, no, I'm not. But I had to let that go just so I wouldn't continue to get myself hurt by chasing somebody who don't want to be with me. Do I wish we could have worked things out? Yes. Any married couple would. But it has to be a team effort. But when it's not, it's not going to work. I ain't going to lie to y'all. I've struggled with just moving forward from this situation because it's been a lot of unanswered questions, but everything has been shown through actions. So I have no choice but to accept my reality now and face the fact that things ain't gonna be the same ever again. I never once thought that going into marriage that it was gonna go like this. But you know, when people got other plans, they could really care less about you. And at this point, after this video, if it ruffles feathers and people feel some type of way about me, I could care less. To have somebody that you loved so dearly play with your heart the way they did, it really shows you that you really don't know people for who they really are. And it's just crazy to me how you can sit there and tell somebody that you love them, but then sit there and betray them like that. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I thought getting over this little situation would be so easy. I've even tried to move on myself, made the mistake of trying to move on too early, and I've hurt people. And hopefully they forgive me. But to have to go through life, feeling this pain, is tough. And I don't really think a lot of people really speak out about it, but waking up, not feeling that joy that you used to feel because somebody stripped it away from you. They just took your heart and ran with it. All because of their lack of letting go. It sucks. Like for my wife to sit there and tell me that she loves another man, it's crazy to me. Like, you really had the nerve to sit there and tell me that to my face, that you love him and you don't want to hate him because he slept with your sister. And that you want to squash out those little feelings that you got towards him. But me trying to be understanding, I'm like, all right, go squash your little beef or whatever. And so they do that. And then now she wants to go spend Christmas with him and his family. And I'm like, I mean, we didn't really plan that, but all right, that's cool. We go do something different, spend quality time with them, I guess. But that whole week, it wasn't what I thought it was gonna be. It was a lot of them spending time together while their spouses are sitting there looking like, what is going on right now? And it's like in that moment, I kind of realized like they got something going on, and it kind of made sense in the end because after they made their little video together where she didn't want me in it with them, I called a little attitude, and she got mad at me for getting an attitude. And then when we get back home after that Christmas weekend, I had a wedding ring, a new wedding ring that I had for her birthday. I gave it to her. She didn't even open it. And at that moment, I knew something was going on, but I didn't think much of it. And then when I go to my cousin about how I felt about that situation where they was making that video and she didn't want to put me in it, I guess she overheard me talking about it to him, and she asked me like, why can't you express that to me? But I already knew I wasn't gonna be heard if I was to bring that to her, So I'm like, I ain't even gonna waste my breath. And should I had did that? No. But when I'm not being heard, I'm not about to keep forcing myself to be heard. And then a couple days after that, she want to hit me with she want to separate, but not separate to divorce, but separate to better our relationship. And I'm like, we can just do that now. We haven't even tried counseling. But she feels like separation is the best way to go. And then Martin Luther King weekend comes up. And the crazy thing about that is, she ain't robbing me down there. She want to go down to my cousin and them house again. She ain't robbing me. She had my cousin come pick her up. And in that moment, I knew what was going on. I realized I was trying to get played with. So, I drive down there Friday night after I got off work. I get down there trying to give her a hug and kiss. She didn't want me to touch her. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, can we at least go outside and try and talk? No. And then later on that night, she wanted to hit me with she wanted a divorce. I'm like, bro, y'all get like, at that moment I realized like I'm getting played with. So I came up with a little joke and I was like, our proposal was fake. I made it seem real only because your mama came downstairs. And that broke her, I guess. That hurt her feelings to her core. But like, in that moment, I didn't care. Because I already knew I was getting played with. But should I have made that little joke? No, but it is what it is. So the Saturday of that Martin Luther King weekend, we all go to this little park. And Tim and his wife is over there having a conversation. And me and Brenay having a conversation. And I ask her, I'm like, do y'all got something going on? And she asked me, how would you feel, hypothetically, how would you feel if me and Tim were to rekindle? And in that moment, I already knew. I'm like, because the night before, they was already talking about getting back together. So in that moment, I'm like, oh, I'll be happy for y'all. Not really meaning it, but it's like, I'm not about to sit there and force myself to try and fight for a relationship where you want to be with somebody else. To take it a step further, I started playing along with their game. She want to hit me with we get back home after Martin Luther King weekend, she hit me with she want to start bringing guys over. I'm like, nah, if you gonna be with Tim, you can bring him over. They do that. They sleep in the bed together, whatnot. She made it seem like she was gonna sleep with me, but nah, she slept with him. And in them moments, I'm like, yeah, all right. I kind of got my feelings a little bit, but I'm like, I took my L. Cried about it, yeah, I did. I ain't gonna lie, it hurt to see it. But at that point, I just had to see it for myself to see if it was really real. And it was. And I'm pretty sure they're gonna say something about me after this little video, but it is what it is.
It does state that Tim is from this county. Devon is from this, Tim is from the same county, that Brenay is from. Y'all finna have a trip, honey. It say, upon information and belief, Tim is employed as a social media influencer, a FedEx employee with multiple sources of income, including but not limited to endorsements and commissions.
Cousins, I know I said I was gone, but I'm editing this as I go. And the fact that Tim has all this money coming in and he is only giving $60 within all those months makes it even worse. And it just shows you he's being spiteful. And I see a lot of people in the comments, especially saying that he is working as a temp agency or whatever because it says independent contractor. But just to clear it up, an independent contractor that's working for FedEx just basically means that you are a FedEx driver because you do not work for the actual company. It's just a third party. They have their own business and FedEx is the middleman. That's all that means. It doesn't mean that he's temporary. He could be working for a peak season, but because it's FedEx and it's the holiday season, he's getting money. He's getting a lot of money, okay? And if he's a driver, he's getting paid cash, more than likely, either daily or weekly. But he's getting money, and he can afford to take care of his children. So, Tim, you're a deadbeat. And if Brenay's putting you up to this, you should not be listening to her. Okay, bye.
Brenay and Devon were lawfully married on May 24, 2021 in Wake County. Devon is employed. Brenay is employed as a social media influencer and has over 2.9 million followers on TikTok, 300,000 followers on Instagram, and over 38,000 followers on YouTube, and thousands of followers on Snapchat. Devon was a faithful and dutiful husband and provided a comfortable home environment for Brenay. Since the date of marriage, Brenay and Devon had a happy and loving marriage until the event described in this complaint transpired. Devon was not aware of romantic and sexual relationship between Tim and his wife, Brenay. Tim's interference in the marriage involved wrongful and malicious acts that caused the genuine love and affection between Devon and his wife to be destroyed. Devon and Brenay separated on February 9, 2023. Plaintiff replies and incorporates herein by reference to the judicial allegations set out in paragraph 1 through 10. At all times mentioned herein, Tim had actual knowledge of Devon's marriage to Brenay. Brenay formed a close relationship with Tim's wife, Akira Montague, because Devon and Tim are cousins. Tim took advantage of his relationship with his cousin, Devon. Tim used this advantage to gain access and create opportunities to get close to Brenay. So like I said, that when Brenay kept saying, y'all gonna look so stupid when the truth come out, when I said that the only reason she could say that if indeed Tim had pursued her, had initiated, and even if he initiated, she should have turned him down. Y'all remember that? Okay. It says that Tim confessed to Devon numerous times that he had sexual intercourse with Devon's sister-in-law, Corinne Kennard, in 2019, while Tim's wife, Akira, was pregnant, unbeknown to Akira. Now that this court document has come out, y'all remember I did a video, and this past weekend I had an awakening moment because I did a video prior to a while ago, and I had information regarding Corinne and Tim. Well, Corinne. The person, whoever her friends is, ain't her friend because they want to put out her information. I'm going to upload that message so y'all can know Goddess was not lying. I just didn't say anything because it wasn't court documents. But now that it is court documents, Goddess can talk. The person said to me that Corinne did have an affair with Tim in the year of 2019.
Oh my God! Wow! Cause who the fuck?
And they can provide me with all the information relating to that particular timeline. I declined to get involved in it because it wasn't court documented. Now that it is court documented, it does correlate with Devon's story. Okay. It says Tim posed as Brenay's social media manager to create an even more opportunity to have secret, intimate moments with Brenay. Now, if y'all remember in Akira's set of questions with Brenay, they asked, was Tim her social media manager? She denied. So that means she lied. She denied that Tim was her social media manager. But right here, Devon said that was the case. He was her alleged social media manager. Brenay insisted that Tim accompanied her on sales calls, stating that she needed her sales manager to play with her. This correlates with Akira's set of papers. Brenay filmed cooking videos at the marital home featuring Devon, Tim, and Akira. Multiple social media videos featuring Tim and Devon, along with their spouses, enjoying couple outings, dining together, and spending quality times with one another, all with mutual consent. Brenay began posting on social media featuring only Tim, often without Devon's knowledge or consent. Upon information and belief, these actions were without knowledge or consent to Tim's wife as well. In 2021, y'all, Tim initiated inappropriate conduct towards Brenay by lying down beside her in a compromising position. I'm going to read that again. In 2021, Tim initiated inappropriate conduct towards Brenay by lying down beside her in a compromising position. Now, what that position was, it didn't say, but it said it was very compromising. Brenay was seen twerking and shaking her bottom on Tim in a bathroom located in Tim's marital home without Devon's consent and knowledge. Upon information and belief, these actions were without knowledge of consent of Akira as well. Devon became aware of Tim's sexual affair with Brenay in January of 2024 from a video of Tim and Brenay in Tim's marital home. Tim and Brenay exchanged multiple sexual videos and text messages. Brenay and Tim constantly flaunted their extramarital affair publicly on social media, showing flirtatious interactions with no regard or respect for their marriage, with callous intentions towards their spouses. Devon is heartbroken that his cousin would be sexually involved with his wife and be the proximate cause of Devon's marriage ending. As a direct result of Tim's action, including beginning an emotional and romantic relationship, because y'all know I can't be using that word, with Brenay, Devon has suffered the loss of his marriage, humiliation, financial loss, and severe emotional distress. On or about December of 2023, Brenay indicated that she wanted to spend Christmas with Tim and Akira. Y'all listen to me. Y'all asked about that bucking up. Y'all finna get y'all answer. Y'all about to be shocked. During Christmas of 2023, Tim and Brenay would sneak around the marital home whispering to each other. When Akira and Devon asked them about the whispering, Tim and Brenay acted like Devon and Akira were imagining things. When the spouses inquired about the whisper, it was portrayed as if the spouses were imagining things. So they wanted to act like they was crazy. Now, y'all didn't see that, when in fact they saw what they saw. Oh, okay. Upon information and belief, Tim first had intercourse with Brenay in December of 2023 in the marital home. Upon information and belief, Tim and Brenay have had multiple romantic encounters in Tim's marital home and other locations. In January of 2024, Brenay informed Devon that she wanted a separation. This is what made me feel like the dates February of 2023 is wrong. It was so they're going to amend it. On or about January the 6th of 2024, listen, Tim slept in the bed with Brenay and had romantic course without Devon's consent or knowledge. Upon information and belief that the action occurred without the consent and knowledge of Akira as well. Additionally, on or about January the 11th of 2024, Tim slept in the bed with Brenay without Devon's consent or knowledge. Upon information and belief, the actions occurred without consent and knowledge of Tim's wife, Akira. On January the 12th, 2024, Devon's wife proposed divorce. On or about January the 13th of 2024, this is the following day, Brenay admitted her desires to rekindle her romantic relationship with Tim. Devon was unaware that both parties had a romantic relationship or planned to be together before Martin Luther King Jr. weekend in January of 2024. February the 8th of 2024, Brenay invited Tim to stay overnight at their marital home. Devon was blindsided by this revelation and was deeply hurt because he wanted his marriage to succeed. Tim missed work due to a family death, and Brenay visited Tim at his home without consent from Devon to spend time with Tim. The acts of romantic course, this is what I'm going to call it, y'all fill it in, between Tim and Brenay were without consent and connivance of plaintiff, which is Devon. From 2023 to the present, Tim engaged in romantic relations with Brenay on multiple occasions, including in the marital home while Devon was asleep. During the affair, Tim and his wife defendant's wife concealed, plaintiff's wife, okay. During the affair, Tim and Brenay concealed their extramarital affair and went on double dates with their spouses and attended family gatherings, group dinners, holiday parties, birthday celebration, and basketball and baseball game together. Tim abandoned his children, left his marital home, and moved into Brenay's townhouse in Greenville, North Carolina. At the present time, Tim continues a public relationship with Brenay. Tim, fully aware that Brenay is Devon's wife, unlawfully won her affection, alienating them from Devon and causing her to neglect both Devon and their home. Tim has publicly and privately displayed his affair with Brenay among Devon's friends and acquaintances, intended to humiliate Devon. As a direct result of Tim's action, including romantic course with Brenay and Tim's posting on social media, Devon has suffered irreparable harm, including a destroyed marriage, humiliation, and several mental and emotional anguish. As a result of Tim's actions, Devon is in counseling with a licensed therapist. As a result of Tim's actions, Devon's family members are being harassed by Tim's supporters, causing further humiliation and distress to Devon. Devon has experienced extreme emotional distress since the malicious and intentional actions of Tim, and discovered the sexual interactions between Tim and Brenay in the marital home. The entirety of the conduct and the injuries complained of in this complaint, for which relief is sought, occurred in the state of North Carolina. He's wanting $150,000 in damages. The actions of Tim was intentional, malicious, unlawful, willful, and wanton. Tim displayed ill will, spite, rudeness, and oppressions directed against Devon. These actions were carried out with a careless, reckless, conscious, and intentional disregard for the rights of Devon. As a result, Devon is entitled to recover punitive damage from defendant. It say Devon and Brenay had a supportive and loving marriage prior to the acts and conduct of Tim, as herein being alleged with genuine love and affection existing between Devon and Brenay. Brenay and Akira became friends after Devon married Brenay because him and Tim were cousins. So they were not friends only because of their relationship, the fact that they were cousins, and the fact that Devon had now married Brenay. Remember, they got married May 24th of 21. Akira, somewhere it seems like Devon and Tim may had, continued to hang out, and then Akira and Brenay connected. Okay, thank you, love. Woo, Jesus. It say, upon information and belief, Tim and Brenay y'all listen to me carefully, cause this was some psycho crazy kind of stuff. Baby, when I tell you plotting, she most definitely plotted. Listen to this, because she said that Devon had bulked up at her, right? And she went to Akira's and Tim's house because Devon had bulked up at her. Devon finna tell y'all what happened. Devon said, upon information and belief, defendant and Tim and Brenay colluded and created a story of false accusation to persuade Akira to allow Brenay to temporarily stay in their home. They created this false narrative that something was going on between Devon and Brenay, and that basically it seems like maybe it wasn't safe for her to stay there, although she could have stayed at her mama's house, and although she could have stayed in a hotel. So now we know why she didn't stay at her mama's house, why she didn't get a hotel room. It say this collusion allowed Brenay to gain access and begin to stay in Tim's home. Tim shared with his wife and his children. Said ain't so. Upon information and belief, Akira only allowed Brenay to stay in the home based on the false accusation and was unaware of the extramarital affair. Tim then proceeded to have romantic course with Brenay despite their spouse's friendship, and plaintiff and Devon and Tim being related. Tim never disclosed the inappropriate relationship between him and Brenay to Devon and continued to be Devon's friend. The relationship of the two couple was displayed on social media without showing Devon's preference for privacy. That y'all remember when he stayed? Y'all remember when Tim was staying in the house with Devon and Brenay? Y'all remember when Tim and Brenay was in the driving in the car and Devon was in the back seat? Now Devon is 6 feet 4 inches tall. Why in the world was he in the back seat of that car? Tim and Brenay appeared in multiple social media posts without Devon's knowledge or consent. Tim was aware that Brenay was the wife of Devon and engaged in inappropriate behavior, including romantic course with her without Devon's consent. Tim, knowing that Brenay was married to Devon, engaged in sexual relations with her on multiple occasions before the separation. Tim appeared in multiple social media videos using keys to unlock doors, suggesting he has access to Brenay's home. Suggesting that he had access, I guess, to Devon's home. Tim has a garage opener to Brenay's single door garage. Listen to this, y'all. Tim moved his drum set and game set, which he plays frequently, into the home of Brenay. Upon information and belief, defendant has moved. Tim has moved his children's bunk bed into Brenay's home. Upon information and belief, Tim is currently living in Brenay's residence, while Tim is subleasing his townhome. Yeah, the one that Brenay co-signed for. Tim's affair with Brenay is openly displayed on social media platforms including Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, reaching millions of viewers. Tim maliciously deprived Devon of his wife, companionship, society contribution, and services, disregarding the well-being of Devon's marriage and family. Devon was a supportive and faithful husband, creating a loving and healthy home for his wife. Tim's actions included but are not limited to engaging in a sexual and personal relationship with Brenay during her marriage to Devon, using confidential information shared between Devon and him to seduce Brenay, having romantic course with Brenay in the marital home, having romantic course with Brenay in the marital home, in the marital bed, having romantic course with Brenay in the marital home on the couch. Having marital course with Brenay in Tim's marital home in other locations. Creating social media posts and content with plaintiff's wife, Brenay, who has millions of followers, to publicly showcase that they are indeed a couple. Appearing to cohabitate with Brenay, attempting to act in a parenting capacity with Tim's children. Making social media posts to humiliate Devon and make disparaging comments about Devon. Planning and taking trips with Brenay without the knowledge and consent of Devon. Making several videos with Brenay about being in a relationship together. Tim received housing from Brenay to leave their shared marital home, causing Devon's family to be harassed and discord among family members. During the time described as a discrete result of Tim's relationship with Brenay, Brenay began to withdraw emotionally from Devon. Tim was taking Brenay on outings and dates. Tim concealed these outings and dates from Devon and disguised some as work engagements. Devon tried to reconcile the marriage by suggesting marriage counseling, but Brenay refused. Tim's action intentionally and wrongfully interfered with Devon's marriage and caused the marriage to be dissolved. Tim, aware of Devon's desire for having a loving relationship with his wife, acted recklessly and intentionally, causing significant harm. Due to Tim's intentional and harmful behavior, Devon's marriage was destroyed beyond repair. Because of Tim's malicious and reckless actions, Devon has been deprived of his wife's love, affection, and support, suffering emotional distress and reputational damage as a result. Tim's consistent actions and conducts in engaging in and pursuing an inappropriate romantic relationship, which included the public display of the relationship, caused irreparable harm. Tim was reckless and willful, and especially aggravating and wanton behavior. Tim is liable for punitive damage to Devon. Due to the above-mentioned conduct of defendant, Devon has been damaged in an amount in excess of $150,000. The actions of Tim were malicious, unlawful, intentional, and exceedingly reckless. The evidence will reveal a clear intent to harm marked by hostility, disrespect, and oppression toward Devon, demonstrating a blatant disregard of Devon's rights or respect for Devon's marriage. As a result, Devon is entitled to seek punitive damage from defendant. And it goes on to say the amount. It says, pursuant to plaintiff's second claim for relief, plaintiff have and recover from Tim compensated damages in the amount in excess of $1,500,000 for Tim's criminal conversations of Brenay and plaintiff's Devon's loss of society, comfort, friendship, assistance, sexual relationships, and economic support of Brenay, and injury to plaintiff's health, feelings, and reputation. They want this stuff to be taxed against Tim and all. Apartment shopping with Tim before the date of separation. Brenay chose to become a co-signer for Tim for a townhome rental before the date of separation. Brenay then proceeded to abandon Devon on or around March 2024 and moved in with Tim. Brenay and Tim engaged in extramarital affairs, including having sexual intercourse in the marital home on or about January of 2024. On January the 12th, 2024, a video of Brenay and Tim was discovered where they were talking about sexual acts that happened between them prior to the date of separation. Devon and Brenay were still living in the marital home, and Devon had no knowledge of his cousin Tim having a sexual encounter with his wife. Upon information and belief, the affair began on or about December of 23. Brenay had Tim pose as her social media manager to deceive Devon, and had an affair with Brenay without Devon's consent or knowledge before January of 2024. Brenay maintained a friendship with Tim's wife while simultaneously seducing Tim in an effort to destroy both marital unions. Brenay filmed cooking videos at their marital home and the marital home of Tim and his wife. The videos featured Devon, Brenay, Tim, and Akira. Multiple social media videos showed Devon and Brenay with their spouses enjoying couple dates, dining out, and spending time together. My bad, let me reread that. Multiple social media videos shows Devon and Brenay with their spouses, or I guess it means Tim, because plaintiff in this case is Devon and defendant is Brenay, so I guess it meant him and Tim with their spouses dating out and spending time together. All videos show that both parties are in a loving relationship with their marriages. Brenay then began posting on social media featuring only Tim, often without Devon's consent or knowledge. Devon was the dependent spouse and is in need of post-separation and alimony. And then it talks about what they all acquired during the time of their marriage. It tells how much money Brenay made. It says during the marriage, Brenay has earned over $30,000 a month. I told y'all she wasn't bringing in less than 10 a month. She earned over $30,000 a month from social media accounts throughout the marriage. Devon and Brenay were both involved in the making of social media posters, and as a result, Devon is entitled to a share of the proceeds. Brenay has made several videos during the marriage that has made her several thousands of dollars in profit per month and has hidden the account from Devon. Devon is entitled to his share of the marital income and assets as indicated under the North Carolina equitable distribution laws. Due to the factors set forth, plaintiff is entitled to receive a distribution of marital and divisible property value at greater than 50% of the net marital estate. Numerous facts in his favor include but are not limited to the following. And it goes on to say whatever assets, income that she have, that he's entitled to that. It says that he prays upon to the court to accept this verified pleading as an affidavit upon which the court may base any or all its orders. Set a date for a hearing to hear the merits of plaintiff's complaint. That Brenay be ordered to pay post-separation support to Devon. That Brenay be ordered to pay alimony to Devon. That Brenay be ordered to pay Devon's reasonable attorney fees associated with his claims. That the court effect as equitable distribution of marital and divisible property and debts of the parties be awarded by awarding Devon a greater than 50% share of the net marital estate. That the cost of this action be taxed to Brenay and grant such other and further relief as may deem just and proper. His attorney is Miss Robin, the same attorney who represents Akira.